Hey everybody, it's Liz. Yeah, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I don't know. I didn't script this one out in my head as much as I normally do. But I thought that was kind of my message today anyways, because last week or after my last vlog, actually, I had this really big insight of realizing that I'd just been afraid to be tailoring my messages to a specific audience because I want it to help everybody, right? And so I realized that that has a place, and everyone can be helped through coaching and through whatever. But I realized that one audience that I would love to kind of zoom in on are moms with ADHD who have small kids, which is me. And trying to find the other me's out there and realizing that I could do that, and that would be something that would be really exciting for me, and hopefully I can be a little bit of a resource and help out in any way I can, just to have people not feel alone. And realizing that you don't have to be a mom. You could just have attention stuff going on. You don't even have to have a diagnosis, or you could just be a parent that has small kids, which brings up a lot of these similar challenges just based right, regardless of how your brain's wired. So, I don't know. Anyway, so I had this insight, I had this total aha moment, and then I got super overwhelmed. I just totally got overwhelmed by it and was just like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to do first. And I just totally froze and allowed those said little beings to be an excuse to not do anything. And I froze and I didn't do a vlog last week. Hello. Which is what it is, and I am being gentle with myself. However, it just is ironic that I had this insight. I was really excited, and then I pretty much let those demons of old thought patterns and whatever totally take me out with it, and I just froze. I totally froze. So here I am, getting unfrozen and talking to you. So I had a couple things I wanted to talk about today. One was around ADHD and attention issues, and if you don't like labels, I'm totally with you, but it's just an easy way to kind of categorize it in a quicker way. So the thing about ADHD, especially in women and in men, I guess, but definitely in women, is that it's hidden, right? You don't meet somebody and just you can't see it on their outer being, even though you might see it quickly with their behaviors. It's a hidden thing, and for a lot of women, instead of when we were younger, acting out and getting attention on kind of a more of a hyperactive end of the scale, for a lot of us, it was just an attention thing. So if you just look at us, you can see that we are doing everything right. Looks like we're paying attention, looks like we're doing all the boxes and checking all the boxes and doing everything perfect. When in our minds, we might be a million miles away and totally missing what's happening. And so that invisible nature of it is really, really, really tricky. It's also really tricky. For me, it was really tricky of once I started figuring it out, of figuring out a way to describe to people what was going on with me and have it feel and sound legit, because the attention stuff is really interesting. It's one of those things where every single person, regardless of how you're wired, struggles with attention sometimes. Every person can't find their keys once in a while, or has a hard time focusing on what they're doing because it's not exciting and it's kind of boring. Those are not unheard of things for a human to be experiencing, right? The thing is, when you have wiring like I do, it's the duration and the intensity of it. So somebody who has a different wired brain might experience those things once in a while, and it's kind of a blip on the radar, and they might get frustrated, or it's like a morning out of their week. Where for myself and others like me, it's a constant thing. It's a constant struggle, and it requires really specific systems. The keys always go on the hook regardless of anything else, because they will literally just disappear into the ether, and it'll ruin a whole morning and really make everything blow up, or whatever it is. It's a constant thing that doesn't turn off, and maybe the intensity goes up and down depending on what's going on. However, it's something that is kind of chronically involved with all steps of life and day, which sounds really daunting, and it can be at times. And so The other thing about it is being invisible even to ourselves. So like for in my story and for lots and lots of women, we don't figure this stuff out, that it's actually this other thing going on. And we think it's just us up until often into adulthood. So once the coping skills start breaking down because the demand of life or whatever increase, so like you go to law school or you have a kid or you know, you get married and suddenly you have household things going on and you're working with somebody else on it and it just all gets too much. To have that shift of learning that there's this other category of something that's happening and having it not just be you and who you are, it's hard to unpack that and figure out what's you, what is this other scenario that's happening. And it can also often get misdiagnosed. So there can be secondary things that happen. I forget the fancy word for it, but there's secondary things that happen. So often women get treated for years for depression or anxiety or OCD or a variety of other things when those characteristics might be happening, but the root cause is the attention struggles, and the depression and anxiety and OCD are secondary outcomes from trying to cope with the attention stuff without having the whole picture involved. And so it's tricky, y'all. Anyways, so yeah, if you resonate with that, I would please let me know. I would love to hear it. I've been hearing anecdotally from really surprising sources that people are enjoying these videos, and I am so touched and honored, and it just makes me super excited that like the universe is totally infinite, and if so-and-so is hearing about this and enjoying it, I can't even imagine who else might be seeing it or not. So let me know. Please comment on the video. It really does help give me motivation, and also just hopefully I would love to create a community where we can support one another in these things. Also, if you are having attention struggles happening or just have small kids and have too much on your plate, please send me topics that you would love to learn more about. If you don't want to do it publicly, that's fine. You can private message me or reach out in other ways, but let me know how I can help you, and let me know what parts of my story or techniques that I use or whatever that you might be interested in, or if there's a piece that you want some ideas or feedback on. I would love, love, love to know that. So this really is for you all, I'm getting benefit by sharing my story on some level, but I really would love to reach out to others and help them in their journey. And if I can do that by sharing my experiences and what I've learned along the way, then that's awesome. So anyways, okay, the last thing I want to talk about was that in this frozen moment of the vlog stuff of like, I want to reach out to these people. I'm so excited. This is my people. It's going to be awesome. And then I just was like, deer in the headlights. I decided to go into something that I did have control over and did feel manageable. And that was starting to tidy my house. And you might be aware or not aware, but there's this new Netflix show from Marie Kondo. I think that's her name. And it's all about tidying your house, which first of all, I love that word because it feels like it's just a little spruce, a little tidy, when it really can be this like huge overhaul. And this weekend I cleared out my clothing. And if you don't know this method, it's the KonMari. I could be totally blowing this up, but I'll put links in the notes. But it's this method where you go through and you essentially declutter different categories in your life one at a time. And the first one they suggest is clothing. And so what you do is you put all your clothing, all of it, even the sneaky ones in the weird bags in your basement and the hidden ones for when you lose 50 pounds and turn into a different person. I don't know. Or when, stuff that is sentimental, you put all that crap all in one big giant pile. And part of it is the shock of like seeing the big pile and being like, oh my God, I have all this stuff. And then you go through and one by one, you hold each individual item and you feel if it sparks joy in your life, or for you. And so it's not this big, conversation and moment. It can just be pick it up, see if it sparks joy. And if it does, you keep it. And if it doesn't, you thank it, which I loved. You thank it for what it's done for you. And you either give it away or throw it out or whatever it needs. And so I totally embraced this. I was just like, I'm going with this because this sounds awesome. And it was just like the perfect blend of woo-woo and practicality for me. So I went through and I thanked it. And there were some things, you guys, that I've been holding on because they used to spark joy in my life, right? Like this one dress I bought at Walmart after my second kid, that it was the first dress that after having him I felt actually cute in, and I loved the pattern. And I wore it like every other day of that summer and then previous summers. But now it's like, it's done its job. It's tired. It's done. It's like the material got all weird and is like sticking together and all clingy, and it's just old and too baggy and stretched out, and like, it's just sad now, right? But I've been holding on to it because it had given me such enjoyment wearing it in the past. I wasn't looking at where it was right now. And so I held on to that dress. I honestly like gave it a little hug. I thanked it. I gave it a little kiss, and then I donated it. And now I'm thinking of it like going on to its next life, and the next person finding that chapter of whether they use it for, who knows, material for a cool pillow or, you know, something else, or their actual dress. So I did that, and I seriously got rid of 3 or 4 full trash bags of stuff that I donated, another big box and another small bag. And I didn't even think I had that much stuff to start with, you know, and now when I open my drawers, it's just things that bring me joy, you know, and I got rid of 4 or 5, like however many bags of things that weren't bringing me joy in my life and were literally weighing me down and clogging up the system. And like, I couldn't see anything in my drawers, and it was like, I couldn't even shut them because of all this stuff that wasn't bringing joy. And I don't know, I feel so much lighter. And then I also inspired my husband to do it. So he did it the next day. And, you know, I don't think he had as much of like a tearful, like, goodbye old shirt from blah, blah, blah. But like, he kind of did, you know, and at one point he came in and there was a shirt that I bought him when we first started dating. It was the first present I bought him. And he was just like, gave me a big hug and was just like, hey, like, I'm letting this go because it's just done, you know, not sparking joy. And he let it go, and you could tell it was a big moment of him letting that stuff go. And so I don't know, it's not for everybody, you know, it did take a little bit of time. However, I will encourage you just to like, I don't know, give it a try. Why not give it a try? You know, and just letting go of those little things that on a micro level, when you see them in your house, they bring you down. It makes a huge difference. It really adds up. It's totally the like, you know, you put a penny in a jar every day, and you know, at the end of a year you have a lot of money. Like, you know, like, it's totally one of those things where there's these things in our life that just kind of like on a little micro subconscious, don't even think about it level, just bring us down, you know, and kind of take a little hit, you know. It's like, whoa, like, okay, yeah, like, you know. And the craziest, coolest part is that it could be literally like a t-shirt that you've been holding on to for 12 years, or it could be a spatula that like doesn't work well in your kitchen, and it bums you out every time you use it. Like, you know, like, let it go. Yeah. So anyways, I'm so grateful for Netflix for creating that show. And the show's been super inspiring too. Like, they actually teach you how to do it, as well as showing you people's process. And so it's just really cool. Anyways, I feel really inspired by it. And then I honestly swear to God, I feel like getting rid of all that stuff has helped me unstick and do this vlog and like keep the momentum going. And like I said in my last one, it was definitely like I'm taking baby steps and feeling good about it in my process too. And so that was a lot of things to talk about this morning. And I hope you are doing well and are figuring out some baby steps that bring you towards joy and away from frustration or whatever. And if you're feeling stuck and frozen, if you've maybe you made a resolution and you just are like, oh God, this is sinking, like this isn't going well, or whatever it is, you're not alone, okay? And just one misstep or one week of being frozen isn't going to blow it up. Like I said last time, what blows it up is letting the gremlin voices and the self-talk and all the crap from your past that is going down the old, well-worn negative path, jumping on that route, that's what takes you out. recognizing it, getting off the off ramp, getting on the new path that you're developing, and going towards a different direction, that is how you create change and reroute that wiring in your head. So, hope you have a great day. Happy Monday. And my intention is to do another vlog on Thursday so I can kind of, energetically get back on track. So if you have an idea of what you want that to be about, please, please, please let me know. And if you don't, I'll come up with something. And have a great day. Again, please share this, like this, do all the social media stuff. It really does help. And have a wonderful day. Okay, take care. Bye.